Thank you for the introduction. And hello, everyone. My name is Pengcheng, and I'm a postdoc working in the group of Math for Experimental Data Analysis. And I basically work in the optimization, especially the black box optimization with Stefan. And today I'm going to talk about the interpolation-based trust-region methods for black box optimization. So generally, there are a lot of things unknown in this real world. So that's basically why we are talking about the black box optimization problems. In the case where the objective functions are unknown, a black box. And I'm going to share two simple examples here. So the first one is about climate models. So we know that general climate models are computer programs consist of huge codes, and there are a lot of factors as inputs. So there is no mathematical expression of the model merit function with respect to the parameters, and the average weather, it covers a long period of time. So it's definitely a expensive black box optimization problem. And in the recent research of machine learning, some attacks on neural networks is trying to find the hidden perturbations that can fool a neural network. So the attackers do not know the structure of the neural network, and they are trying to solve a black box optimization problem to find the best noise to add to cheat the neural network. And after that, the neural network will recognize this figure as a given instead of panda. So mathematically, we call it derivative-free optimization, also DFO. And in this talk, we are talking about the simplest case where there is no constraints, and the derivative-free directly denotes the case that the derivative of the objective function is not used during the whole optimization process. And there are advantages and disadvantages. So, for example, since no derivative information is needed, it's very convenient for the users because they only need to provide a black box. For example, they provide the black box can output the function value at any input points, and it's easy to use. So there are a lot of applications. However, as no derivative information is available, it's hard for us to approximate the objective function. So it really needs more iterations than the gradient-based methods, and it's very complicated to analyze it. So for DFO, our goal is to solve the problem with as few function evaluations as possible. And there are also some other names for derivative-free optimization. For example, the black box optimization showing the title. And another an easy way to understand the DFO is we can treat it as using a bamboo pole to find the deepest part of the water. Okay, so here are some other real-world problems as examples, for including the tuning of hyperparameters and some optimal design problems in engineering design, and also some dynamic pricing and other problems. So basically, you will find that many real-world problems are without mathematical equations, and thus they are black box problems. So with a long history, DFO methods there are different types of DFO methods, and model-based trust-region DFO methods is one of the most popular methods, and the main idea of it is to iteratively minimize the model function locally in a corresponding trust region to find the next iteration point at each iteration. And we can see that there are a lot of different types of the model controls. For example, the linear interpolation model, the quadratic interpolation model, and some underdetermined quadratic question model, which we are going to talk about here, and also some regression models and the radial basis function integrated models. So it's obviously to say that the interpolation is important for DFO. For example, from the figure here, you can see that different interpolation functions will give different minimizers. And in some bad case, they will lead the algorithm to a bad minimizer, local minimizer, and then lead it to a bad directions. So combined with the fact that most of the DFO function evaluations are expensive, and if we want to obtain a fully quadratic model, we basically need to interpolate at Owen's square interpolation points. And also, we are trying to make the sample of interpolation points to be close enough to the current iteration to benefit the local approximation. So the underdetermined interpolation models, which are using fewer interpolation points close to the current iteration, would like to retain enough information from evaluations without requiring too many function evaluations. So the popular model updating method for black box optimization is called list Hessian probability norm updating model. So basically, it is trying to request the model at the case step satisfying the interpolation conditions shown in this formula. And here we are using fewer interpolation points, which means we cannot determine the unique model only based on the interpolation conditions here. So at the same time, we will try to focus the model has the smallest change between the Hessians of the current model and the previous model. So solving this problem can give us the case model, and it has the projection property for quadratic objective function f, which is shown in this figure, which means the error of the approximation is getting smaller of the Hessian. And we are trying to propose a new way to build the model by proposing the list H2 norm updating. And the H2 norm here is a kind of Sobolev norm, which is usually appearing in the PD field, and it can consider the average approximation error or average property in a region. And so basically, we are trying to change a better objective function in the subproblem of obtaining the model. And the motivation is that the existing list Hessian norm model does not consider the average approximation error in a region or trust region. So we are trying to relax the minimum number of interpolation points by relaxing the interpolation constraints shown here. And it can be proved that our newly proposed model has smaller approximation error theoretically and numerically. So, and also we get some other theoretical results, including we prove that there's a strict convexity of the subproblem, and hence we can get a unit model. And also we have that the model is, the error is reducing during the iteration. And also we give a implementation-friendly formula to get the model based on the KKT condition, which means we only need to solve a linear system. And also the numerical results here can tell us that our model, which referring to the blue curves, has a smaller approximation error than the compared ones. So when solving the problem, which is a simple example, the two-dimensional Rosenbrock banana function, it also we are using the same algorithm framework, but using different models. So we can find that using our model can provide a faster numerical convergence, shown in this table. And when we are trying to solve a large test set, including different nonlinear, non-convex test problems, we can find from the performance profiles that the algorithm using our proposed models has a higher curves, which referring to a better performance profile. So, all right, that's all. Thank you very much.